Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ari, and today we're gonna be talking about some things. We're gonna get straight into it. As you can see from the title, we're going to be discussing things I wish people told me beforehand, and this is going to be a makeup artist edition slash entrepreneur, because it could be for any entrepreneur to take the tips and mistakes and things that I learned along the way as a young and upcoming hustler. You know, I was a hustler. I'm just going to say that. So let's go ahead and get into it, because why y'all didn't tell me this? Why nobody told me that? Like, why nobody told me this? So I have a whole outlined thing we're going to be discussing here. First things first, we're going to go ahead and get out the gate. Starting a business is very, very expensive. No matter if you're a makeup artist, a hairstylist, whatever you are pursuing and trying to do, it's expensive. And that goes for anything, because you have to pay everything out of pocket. For me, it was business cards, marketing online, purchasing websites, receipt books, client gifts, decorations, equipment, and etc. The list goes on and on. You have to make sure you are planning the things you want to do in a timely fashion, because you want to make sure you have enough money to do so. When I was coming up, I started my business in 2019, February 2019. But before that, I was already kind of in the business. I was doing what I was doing, makeup artistry on the side, before I made it a legit business. So before I was in college, I was working to put myself through college. So I was working jobs, making money or whatever, meeting people at work, and I would do coworkers' faces, and they would pay me because they started asking me. They really liked that I came to work really cute when my makeup was always done. And they was like, you know what, can you do my makeup? How much do you charge? Excuse me. And I was like, I really don't charge. I didn't have a business. I was like, I don't know. So I had to think about it, because I wasn't, even thinking about doing anybody's makeup or becoming a makeup artist for other people. I was just like, so I had started thinking. I was like, okay, well, a lot of people keep asking me how much I charge, and if I do makeup, I can make some money out of this. So it started off as a side hustle for me. It has always been a side hustle for me. Now, any tips and ideas I can give to those, I would say make sure you guys are fully into this, because for me, I did it to make some money. I needed the money. I needed extra money in my pocket to go through school, to get me through school. Just needed extra money as a broke college student. So that was why I got into the makeup artistry. Excuse me. So back to how expensive it is. It's very, very expensive. Let's talk about that first. So yeah, just making sure you set aside extra money to get yourself out there. For those who maybe are beginner to mid expert level, it takes a lot of time putting your name out there, putting your brand out there, putting your content, your work, and everything you do, so that people can book you, so they can see what you do and be like, oh, okay, this is the kind of work I'm looking for. Where can I find her? That's gonna take a lot of time. So that's first thing. I can even show you. I have you guys. This is my very first business card that I made for my launch. I launched February 2019, and I was trying to look for some business cards. So before I launched, I found a website. It's not a paid promo. It's not paid. This is strictly me. So I don't want to promote them too much, but I am going to say that I used this website called Canva, and it gave me a sticker. And I use that for pretty much everything. I use Canva for my business cards. I use them for coupons. I had made some coupons or whatever when I first began. And my name when I first came out was called Pretty Girls Worldwide. I did not know. I didn't know nothing. Excuse me. I felt like there wasn't a lot of videos or how-tos for me when I came out, because everybody was kind of like, at this time, I feel like more people were learning to do makeup and learning to get into the makeup artistry, but not really teaching Black women, of my skin tone, how to be a makeup artist. I don't think anybody really teaches you. You either go to school for cosmetology and learn that way. But I wasn't in school for cosmetology. I just was self-taught. I've always done my own makeup. So learning a lot, watching a lot of makeup tutorials on other people. A lot of people I watched. That's kind of how I learned the skill to do others and myself, because I just love makeup. And just always being asked, like, girl, do me. So that's kind of how I got into this business. But yes, back to the cards. I use Canva. And when I first began, I made a lot of mistakes, because as you can see, I created this this coupon. I don't know what I was doing. I thought I could make a nice looking coupon, and I messed up. So Canva sent me about 500 of these messed up with the wrong percentage in the wrong place. I was like, dang. I was young. I was super excited to start. I wasn't proofreading anything, so make sure that if you are, because I think that if you do use that website, you get like your first 100, I think, 100 cards for free. And that's really good for business. If you're trying to get your logos and things and everything together, it's good to know that there are some perks to beginning your business. They do help you out, I believe, for Canva. They will send like your first batch for free. I don't know if it's still like that, but it was like that for me when I started. So this was part of the free batch, and I messed up my free batch because I put the percentage in the wrong place. And I was like, wow, how stupid of me. And then I didn't put my real number. This was a Google Voice number because at the time I was trying to be safe. I'm like, I don't want to put my real number out there. I don't know who's going to contact me, thinking my phone going to be ringing off the hook. It wasn't. I don't know what I was thinking, but I used a Google Voice number to place for those who wanted to get in contact with me. And what I did, I also had these little stamps on the back of my coupons. As you can see, this one was like messy, kind of got like everywhere. But I would stamp some lashes on the back so that way I knew that these cards were from me and a person who wanted to come back. Like those coupons that's like if you stamp them or you get enough, like you get 5 in a row, you'll get like the last one free. That's kind of the idea I had behind these little lashes stamps. I wanted to like create something for the client to come back to, for loyalty, just building customer rapport, things like that. So that's my little mistakes. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing, I wish somebody told me to not allow anybody to depreciate your business. They're going to be talking mess. They're going to be talking down on you. Your family and friends, for some people, for me, they were always asking for discounts. It's sad to say that were not my biggest supporters. My biggest supporters came from people who I did not really know, strangers, people I met who really appreciated my work and wanted to pay me what I was worth. But starting out, being brand new to this industry, not really knowing how to navigate that space, they was really trying to ask me for discounts. They're going to ask for family and friend discounts, but your price is your price. I don't care. Whatever price you decide to create, that's your choice. The client can choose whether or not they want to go to you and use your services, but I do believe in saying your price is your price. I do also say, make sure you enforce your policy and rules up front. This is really touchy because I understand both sides, being both a client and a businesswoman. I understand that a lot of these new artists, hairstylists, makeup artists, whoever, y'all are getting beside yourself. These extra rules, that's just what I see. I see a lot of extra stuff. Come with your hair done halfway. Make sure it's parted and parted, greased, washed, combed. And it's just like, that's what that's just what they're doing. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like it's takes away from the point of getting my hair done. Same thing with makeup. I never really had those really strict rules of coming with your face already foundation. That's stupid. Like, why would I do that? That's my job. That's what I'm getting paid for. So why would I want to make anybody come with anything done? But since I was new, I did in the beginning I did ask for people to bring some of their foundation because you have to buy every foundation shade, not every single one, but try to find ones that are to the clientele that you're going to reach. For me, it was a lot of course, Black people, Black women asked me all the time to do their face. They always booked me. That was my main clientele. That was my main audience. Although I did have some that were not Black. They were not African American. Some of them were white. I had some Asians. I had some Indians. I did some Hispanic women. So just being mindful of the different skin tones. You can't start doing makeup if you only have your shade, because that's kind of like, I had to learn that the hard way. I only had like my shade. So I had to go out and buy all the different foundations to the people who I kind of got a range of light, medium, and deeper skin tone, so that way I can fit a variety of faces and not just mine, because I just had my color to work with. So that's a number one thing, is making sure you have the tools and equipment and the things you need for these clients. You can't just start and then not have that color because I was ghetto. I was new. I was starting out. I didn't know, there wasn't any rule book for me. So when I started out, I would just ask my clients to bring their foundation. That's the only thing I had them bring, and then I did everything else. Like they would bring their foundation. I did their faces because I couldn't afford to buy all that foundation at the time. Luckily, they allowed me to be ghetto like that and let them bring their own. But after a while, I ended up buying all the shades of foundation, and so that way I would have had enough for everybody, so that if anybody booked me, I would have their color. So that's really important. Another thing is be polite, because like I said, with these rules, I feel like a lot of these artists and hairstylists and young women are very, very rude. I was always kind. Okay, I understand. Like I said, I can understand from both sides, because if you're one of those people who have very strict rules, coming with your stuff done, needing, just no extra people, stuff like that, be polite. You don't have to say it so harshly. These are paying customers. These are your customers. You want to treat them with respect. And I also believe in doing and saying and not being hypocritical. So if you're going to tell your clients that you have a late fee, but you're late, that's not okay either. I was very punctual. As a makeup artist, I was very on time with my stuff, making sure that I didn't have any conflicting client time. So if you have bookings back to back, make sure that they're well spread out. So that way, if a person is a little bit late, or because things happen, some people, they forget stuff, they got children, they have other obligations to tend to. You want to make sure that you have enough time in between for each client, so that way you don't be crossing over and going into the next client's time. I don't think that's fair. So just making sure that you schedule things kind of, enough, spread it out enough for both the client and for you. You may need a break. You may have been on your feet for about an hour doing the full face. You want to make sure that you have enough time for everything to clean up, to get your space set up for the next person. So things like that, I would say. Be very polite. I get some people be beside themselves. A lot of people becoming crazy. How much you charge, calling you at crazy hours. I get it. It can be crazy on both sides. Both the client can be, out of line, and the person who is doing the service can be out of line. But I feel like as a professional, you should try your best to be accommodating to schedules and be polite and professional. That will build a lot of your clientele. That will build good relationships with people. You don't want to be rude off the bat, and then they be like, dang, like, she's good, but she's rude. But I guess, I feel like people are settling because the quality is there, but the professionalism is not. So being polite will get you a long way. Doing things differently. I feel like setting up an experience for the client is also something that's highly lacking in the beauty industry. There's a lot of people that are charging these crazy prices, but have no experience or have little to look forward to. Like, your price, like I said, your price is your price. But if I see something like, okay, for instance, I'm trying to get my hair done, and this person is working in their home. They have their kids running around. We all been there. We all had these experiences, if you know what I'm talking about. Just stuff that's just not professional, stuff not done. We get it. We all been in the hood. We all done worked out of our houses before. If you know what I'm talking about, you've been in that lane, you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't believe your services should be that high if you aren't even nowhere near professional, not clean. I gotta wait. You was 15 minutes late on starting my hair or whatever. It's just like, be reasonable. So yeah, be reasonable. I'm sorry ahead of time because I'm already congested. I've been trying to get over this cold, so I'm a little congested. So ignore that part. Anyways, so an example of accommodating, I do believe in accommodating people's schedules and time frames, but not personal needs and hangups and expectations that people may have. If people are going to have, I'm over here spitting. People are going to have their personal things, like things that you may not offer for services. So an example would be, girl, I can only come between 9 or 10:30 in the morning. Is that okay with you? So I feel like that's okay to accommodate if it works out for you, if it works out for your schedule and your lifestyle. It's okay to accommodate times and different days and scheduling, but it's not okay to accommodate people that make excuses and don't want to pay you what you're worth, such as, I just paid rent, so my money kind of short right now. How much you gonna charge me? Your prices are your prices. They saw it before they asked you this question. They know what you're charging up front. If you have your prices listed, they should know exactly what to expect. But those kind of people are and those kind of people do exist. Those kind of people are manipulating and are don't really see your worth. They're trying to get a deal out of you. They're trying to get your quality for as little as possible. And it isn't fair to you. It isn't fair to your work. It isn't fair to all the things and the money you spent getting the makeup, I feel that the clients don't understand the work it takes to do the service. Makeup isn't cheap. First off, it can be if you shop at lower end products. But for me personally, I had a bunch of high-end products. I did have low-end products, but I mainly used high-end products on my client for the most part. So the prices, I feel like that's why we charge what we charge, because same thing with hair. If you're a hairstylist or whatever business you do, it costs money to buy the makeup chair or the hair chair, or the things the tools that you're using to do your service cost money. However much that is your business, and that's why I feel like it's okay to charge what you charge. But don't allow people to manipulate you or use you if you're just starting out. Excuse me, because I had a lot of people using me and trying to be like, girl, just because I was new, I kind of let it slide. Cause I'm like, okay, I don't really have that much experience. I am just starting out. So I kind of let a lot of people slide and was letting them, kind of like underappreciate my services. And it was just like, nah. So it's quick to learn this fast. It's better for you to learn this more quickly rather than slowly, because you don't want to get taken advantage of. It's not easy to do makeup. Everybody can't do it. Everybody isn't good at their work. So if you are a really good worker, that you are a loyal and dependable person and you're trying your best, don't allow people to make up what they think you're worth. If your price is your price, that's your business. All right, next bullet point. Why nobody told me to be prepared for unexpected things. So like I said, life happens. There's going to be people who are late, or there's going to be people who cancel last minute. There's going to be people who just booked and then they cancel their thing, or they're just browsing. They act like they're interested and they're not, and they back out. So be prepared for all unexpected things. So I would suggest to invest in fees, invest in late fees, cancellation fees, and travel fees. When I first started, I was a college student, so I was hustling hard. I've always been a hustler. I didn't have it like that in college. I have videos up on my page that are pretty cringy and embarrassing, but there was a video I was talking about some hair. I thought it was from the Real Kyle sister or Ari the Don. And people was in my comments telling me that I was scammed. Girl, this hair ain't real. But I was over here acting like I got it like that. So I'm like, yeah, here, this $400 hair I spent off some financial aid money, first off. Just bragging about this hair that may not have even been from her. Who knows? But I say all that to say, you want to be, what was I going with that? I promise I was going somewhere with that. I forgot. Anyways, back to the fees. I was getting off point, but that I was tying that into something. Anyway, you want to invest in things like this so that way you're protected. People are going to be late. People aren't going to show up on time to everything, and that's all right. But make sure that you have a structured and organized time frame for when you are able to, the latest a person can be. For me, it was 15. After 15 minutes, you're canceled, and I had a non-refundable deposit. For me, so that way I could still get my time back, because here I am setting up to prepare for you, and my client didn't show up. Okay, I understand they had some other obligations. However, my time was now wasted because I didn't get a chance to service this person. So in return, I will be getting a non-refundable deposit to hold their seat. Now their service will be canceled because they didn't come obviously. So now they would have to reschedule it for a later date. Some people are even more harsher, where they don't even allow anybody else to book again. Like they're banned to even book again. Like I don't believe in that. Like things happen. I'm not going to ban you forever. If something came up, something came up. I would just be like to be notified 24 hours in advance, or the earliest you can let me know. The earlier the better. But be prepared, because people are going to have things that happen. There's going to be people that just browse, come looking at your page, may book you and then cancel it, and then it's frustrating. It's very frustrating to try to get money rolling. Money don't come fast. This business takes time, and I think all things take time. And I think the misconception a lot of people get with being a entrepreneur, whether you're doing nails or hair or makeup, it's the fast money. The money can be fast if you are consistent and if you are available and you're flexible and you're able to accommodate people. So that's that. Next, why nobody told me that you need, like I said, the equipment. You need a comfortable makeup chair. You need a rolling travel kit to keep your makeup items in. And I would make a separate video of everything that I use and everything that I learned that I should have used for you guys. So that way, for those who are starting or who already are in business right now but could use some extra tips, I will be making a separate video showing you guys and letting you guys know the things that I used being a makeup artist. And since I am no longer a makeup artist, I feel like I can help somebody. Like it don't hurt to learn. I feel like this business is hard because everybody thinks they're good. Everybody thinks that they can't be touched and they just cold out here and their price is their price and they're entitled. And I don't like that. And I feel like it's okay to hear other people out. It's okay to know I can improve and know that, okay, I like this person's technique. I like this person's skills. What can I learn? I've always been a learner. I feel like you have to be a student in this business, in the beauty industry. I think they teach you that. I didn't go to cosmetology school, but I'm sure they teach you to always be a student because the game changes. You know, makeup not going to stay the same. Makeup changes. There's different trends that happen, different things that you want to incorporate in your business if you want to be a successful one, because you got to learn different things to accommodate different tastes. So that's one thing. Another thing is proper pricing and packages. I kind of briefly mentioned this in the beginning about how your price is your price. However, you want to make sure that you will have loyal customers. Like I said, if you make your prices match the experience. If you're upcharging your services but aren't doing anything experience wise, there would be no reason a paying customer would book you. Unless they just have no other option. But give your clients an experience to build rapport. You know, make the ambiance pretty. You know, do something different than the average. Oh, come with your hair done, hair parted, but you got to sit in my basement with my 3 kids, and my dog might be barking. It might sniff you around, but your hair gonna be slayed though. Like stuff that's just like mediocrity. But you're asking me to do. You know, you're asking for this much. I feel like it would be different if you ask for this much, however that is, how much ever that is, and you have nice equipment. I'm sitting in a nice comfortable chair, especially if you're gonna be for hours. You know, doing hair takes hours if you get, depending on what you're getting. Same thing for makeup, depending on what you're getting. For the most part, most people, for me, they always wanted a full face. So full faces for me always took an hour, a little bit over, depending on how much they wanted, but you want to make sure that they're comfortable. For one, make sure that the client is comfortable to be sitting down as long, and make sure that they be hospitable, offer some water, offer some snacks, you know, make them feel at ease. So that way they feel like, okay, my money is going towards something good. If you're just charging $300 to sit down on a wooden chair with your doggy sniffing up my legs for 3 hours, I don't feel like it's worth $300. So just always think about the customer. You know, the customer should feel comfortable and should feel like this is worth the price. That will build your rapport. It will build your clientele up, because then they're gonna be like, yeah, you know, so and so, she's not cheap, but you're getting this. Like, I feel like it sounds better when you're offering more than the average person. For me, I give gifts, so. And I didn't start doing that until probably the end of my career, right up until right before I quit doing this and doing makeup artistry for the public. I was giving gifts. I was giving nice little goodie bags. So that way I felt like the customer left with something, because they gave me something. They gave me their service and their time. So the least I can do is give them something back to remember. And in the gift bags, I will give you know, some business cards of myself, so that way they can spread the news. They can spread it to let them know, oh, so-and-so did my face, go to Exotic Faces. That's what I did. So just do little things to kind of make the person feel welcome, make them feel special, make every client count. You know, it's not all for the money. Like, yes, it can be very beneficial money-wise, but you don't ever want to get into anything with just, oh, it's only about the money. You know, you want to make sure you do it with some heart, have some respect and some decency. All right. The next thing that I wish somebody told me was to have an app, a scheduling app, some kind of booking. I feel like now a lot of people know that because a lot of people have this on their booking page and on their Instagram bios. They have ways you can book them and get in contact with them. But coming out, they didn't have this. They didn't have booking buttons on Instagram, and they didn't have, as much booking apps and scheduling apps as they did. For me, I had to learn later on, about probably 2 to 3 years later, that there's apps out there like styleseat. Once again, I'm not here to, I know it's free promo, but it's not paid. Nothing is paid. I'm just saying what I used and what I did because nobody told me. It just helps. So I used a website or an app. You could use either or. You could use the website or the app called styleseat. Now with styleseat, they do take a percentage out of what you earn. So say for instance, I would have a full face client for $85, $85. But since you use styleseat's platform and they helped you get the booking, because what styleseat does is they automatically promote you on their home pages, and they allow you to share your link on your platform. So if you have social media like Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you're able to copy and paste the link to get more clientele, and so that people can go directly to your booking site and look at the services you offer, the prices, etc., etc. So since styleseat is, basically pushing your business for you to get more clientele, they do take out a percentage of your money. So if my work was, if a person's full face was $85, I would get between 75 or 70 back because they took a percentage out from my full service. So that is, I do feel like it is helpful to get you out there, but you have to remember that you're not going to get the entire service that you charge, because they are going to take out that percentage. They also have things like Square scheduling. I did have the Square. I had this little Square, what is it called? This ain't the thing. What's the name? I'm salty. I was looking for this. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Yeah. I had a Square reader. And for those who know what I'm talking about, it's a little device about this big. You can put it in your phone and you can swipe credit cards. The Square reader was very helpful to get. And they also have an app. So you can connect your app to your Square reader, and you're able to take payments via credit card and debit card for those who don't have Cash App or Zelle or PayPal or whatever else people pay you on. So it's just different things, different ways to get paid, different ways to, book people and receive your money. Also, when I began, like I said, I first started, I had a website. So this is my first business card when I was called Pretty Girls Worldwide. Super long title, super long title. I first came out, but you got to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, even if it is trash, and you realize, why did I do this? Oh, well. So when I was Pretty Girls Worldwide, or PGWW, I had a website so that people can look me up, know what I'm about, know where I'm located, and know all of the services I have to offer. I do think it is important to have a website. The website service that I used was Wix. It was Wix.com. That really helped me when I was new, because I was able to create this platform allows you to design the website to your liking. They do have templates you can use. So you can use different templates to kind of get your name out there, to get who you are, like what are you about, and what you do. And to show the kind of work that you can put your work and your pictures as well on there. So for those who don't have social media, they can also see your website. So that was very helpful for me. Another thing, this is the last tip, y'all. This is tip number 8. It's okay to have dry seasons. You're going to have dry seasons. Like, just think of it as like, okay, you're a stripper. It's a crazy little scenario, but think of it, because when you listen to stripper stories or people who are in that kind of game, they describe their nights not always to be popping. They don't always make 5 bands a night. They don't always make 10 bands. They have times that they just make a couple thousand or a couple hundred, or may not make nothing, you know. So I feel like it's the same thing for being an entrepreneur. There are going to be times where seasons where you're not always getting booked, where you're not always booked and busy, and you're not always getting clients in and out the door. And it's okay. I feel like it is frustrating and it can be discouraging if you let it be. But instead of thinking, oh my God, nobody's calling me, oh my God, nobody's looking for me, nobody's checking for me right now, take this time to work on your crafts. You know, like if you are a hairdresser, do some looks on yourself or on your homegirl and promote that. You know, make cute little videos. You know, since there's so much social media like TikTok and Instagram, and there's so much you can do that's cute and creative, do that in your spare time. Same thing with makeup. Like for me, I will beat my face. I wouldn't be going nowhere. Beat my face, make a cute video to a song, and put it on Instagram. Put it on my Instagram page. Or my makeup. I had 2 pages for Instagram. So I had my main page and then I had my makeup page. So I will put my little videos and everything on everything. I'll put it on Facebook, put it on my makeup page on Instagram, put it on Snapchat, anywhere, literally anywhere where you feel would get some traction. Nowadays, it's so easy to get traction if you're interesting enough. If you have what it takes to be popping, like, okay, you know, she's doing something. I'm gonna check her out. Do that because it can really help you. Just don't give up, you know. If you really, really are invested, don't give up. And I know you're probably like, how are you going to tell me not to give up? And you're not even a makeup artist to the public no more. Listen, like I said, I was in college and I needed a side hustle. I needed something to give me some money. I was broke. You know, financial aid had hit. After financial aid was like drying up, I was like, okay, what do I do now? You know, do I become a stripper? Like, these are the questions that we think of. Like, no, I didn't want to do that. But I was trying to think of something else I was good at. I'm like, okay, well, people are always asking me to do their makeup for them. Why not make money out of this business? So I came into this business knowing I could make $1 because I was struggling. Now I felt like I had to I felt like I had an obligation to keep up with this business because I was already out there. I already didn't have a name. I didn't have a website. I didn't bought these cars. You know, I kind of felt like now I had to keep up with it because I was in business for about 4 years, and I just felt like underappreciated. A lot of times people were asking me for discounts and making me feel like I was not worth my prices. And a lot of times it took a long time for me to realize I'm not doing that no more. My price is my price. And so my last year, I learned really late that it is what it is. If they don't like it, they can go somewhere else. But I knew that I was giving an experience. I knew that I was a good worker. My work was quality. I knew the things and the tools and the makeup that I used was not cheap. So my clients would be getting really good quality, and they would leave with something. They would have a gift at the end. I would accommodate them with water. I was very professional, and my communication was clear, and all my clients love their makeup. So I knew that I had some talent there, and for a while I just kept hustling. But then it took me to really be honest with myself. I was like, girl, your heart isn't in it. Like I grew to love what I did because I loved making people happy and loved making people feel like, oh my God, so confident, and so like, oh my, I look so pretty, you know. But I wanted them to know that it was pretty without makeup, you know, without the glitz and the glam, that they were always beautiful. But I started to realize that this business may not be for me, you know, but I can help somebody else with the experience that I have and the things that I went through. So that way a person who is trying to get their feet in the door and get their feet wet can learn a thing or two, because nobody told me this. Like, there is no really, unless you go to school to become this, there is no other tips that I was given when I started. Like I said, I started in 2019 of February. There wasn't a lot of Black women telling me or telling each other how they were makeup. A lot of people weren't makeup artists when I was coming out, and I was in a small town in college. So it was hard for me to kind of make my money because all my clientele pretty much was back at home in my hometown where I was living when I wasn't in school. So it was hard. So be consistent. I would say continue to push your brand, push your name. Get yourself out there, you know, turn up, get live on something, like do your face, you know, or do your hair, do your nails, whatever you're doing. Do what you do best and promote yourself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. They're going to ask for some handouts. They're going to be like, gimme. What can I get out of you? But make sure that if you're consistent, your quality is there, you're professional, you're good at what you do, you can go far. There's a lot of successful people out here that are doing their own thing out of their house. I was doing it out of my house. I didn't have my own space. I felt like that would be the next thing. Had I stayed in it, I would have got me a space, leased the space out, so that way people can go to my store, you know, versus my house, you know. So it's just different things, a lot of things to look out for. But yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. It's not easy. There are going to be times where it's like your phone ain't going to be ringing off the line. You're not going to be getting booked left and right, you know, and that's okay. Take your time to rebrand. I changed my name to like a couple of times. I was bouncing between ideas. I was Pretty Girls Worldwide when I first started, but I ended and became Exotic Faces. I changed, as you can see, drastically the services, the quality, the name, and the brand. And that's okay. It's always okay to restart. It's okay to refresh and regroup. There is a lot of competition in the beauty industry. That's kind of another thing. Like, there's people who, when I did stop and I did make the announcement that I wasn't going to be a makeup artist, I was still referring people, because I'm not a hater. I put people on. So I was putting my old loyal customers and my former clients onto another woman in my city who I actually worked with. I worked with her before. We had a photo shoot to do together for our business, and we were doing the model's makeup. So I was referring people to her, and I was like, look, KK pretty good. I'm gonna call her KK. KK really good. You know, she's cold. I told her to her face she was cold. Don't hate on another person. There's gonna be people that are better than you, that have different technique than you, and it's okay. I actually recommend people to work closely with somebody better than you, so that way you can gain that skill, you can see what they do, and you can apply that to your work, you know, and do something different with your business. But don't be a hater. Don't think you're the best. You're never too good. Don't be too entitled. Don't make up all of these crazy rules because you see everybody else doing it. Do what you feel and make sure your heart is in it. That's the best I can say. And hopefully I helped at least one person out there who was thinking about it, who was contemplating whether or not they should start a business, or where did they start, how did they start it. You know, this really was just like things I wish people told me. It's not really in depth of what I did, but I can definitely give you a video of exactly the tools I used, what I did. You know, I've already kind of name dropped some of the websites and businesses I used with no promo, no paid, nothing, but I can definitely help y'all. And that's what I'm here to do. I will be, since I'm no longer a makeup artist to the public, I still am going to be creating some videos and some tutorials for you guys online on YouTube. You know, some simple, some small, you know, nothing too major. There's a lot of people out here that's already doing the little tutorials, and I can join the fun, and I will. So I will be creating some looks and doing some different things that are fun instead of being a makeup artist for services. I'm still a makeup artist at heart. I still love makeup. I still do it. I still get asked to do makeup, but I no longer am in the business. But I know a lot about it. I know a lot of things that people try to do, the tips and tricks and the little sneaky things people do, and you're gonna lose people. But I feel like you're also going to gain a brand new group of people who are supportive, who believe in you, who believe in what you do. And I wish you the best. I wish everybody the best, and I hope this was helpful. If you guys are looking forward to and you do want to see the videos of the things that I used and the things that I did step by step, let me know down in the comments. Like this video and share, and thank you. We'll see you again next time. Bye.